Well, hello, lovely people. Welcome to today's spirit card reading. Today we will be talking about when this will happen for you, this being anything, any opportunity, any whatever it is that's on your mind. And we will explore it mostly in the part of what you need to do, what you need to change, or I guess it's also possible that you might not need to do anything and it's just waiting for you around the corner. But we will explore it more from this angle than purely timing wise, because as you know, timing can be a tricky thing sometimes based on our actions. We can slow something down or we can accelerate something. So for this reason, we will dive exactly into what you need to do on your end for this to happen. So pick the pile, be it the jewelry piece or the card that draws you in the most, and let's explore when this will happen for you. Hello, pile 1. If you chose either the Horus pendant over here, or alternatively the card which you have no idea what it is. In your case, this is the Bobcat card. Let's get into the question of when this will happen for you. Starting off with the Bobcat, the message of the Bobcat is mystery. He teaches you that there is true power and strength in silence and patience, and in order to get what you want, you must be willing to plan, adapt, and above all, have the patience to see your dreams manifest. So patience might be one of the key things in the story of whatever you are waiting to happen for you. Now, if we are to delve a little bit deeper into the tarot cards that came up for you, one major theme here is, I would say, you might be feeling a little bit directionless and a little bit uninspired, and this might have to do with you having given too much of your energy away, maybe to people who just suck your energy right up. Maybe to, if it's not to people, just somewhere you scattered your energy. It doesn't seem to be focused. It doesn't seem that you exactly know what you want to do. So you are kind of just all over the place, and this is taking its toll on your vital energy. And at the end of the day, you have only that much energy to spend into something before you deplete yourself. So the first card that you got, speaking of that, is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords warns us that if we continue doing things as we're doing them, we might have some kind of burnout. It is in the upright position, so you are still not there, but it is now high time for you to take a little bit of a break and recharge your battery. Because again, if you don't, I guess if you change something in the process, then sure, you might make it out without the break. That will be the pivoting point for you. But the way you are now spending your energy can't continue. You will crash. And the next card, which tells me again about that energy problem being present in your life right now, is the reversed Ace of Wands. Typically, like aces are the cards of starting something new, and they are full of life. Even more so when it is the fire ace, because like fire is creativity, creation, just having energy to get up and do things. And for you, that card came up in the reversed position, which means there is something blocking it. And part of this might also have to do with you not completely trusting yourself in this endeavor, or maybe just generally. And again, I feel like a lot of your energy, you just don't know where exactly to channel it. Or alternatively, like you might have a hunch where you need to channel it, but you are afraid of pursuing it. This can be one possible explanation of why you are scattering your energy, because it's kind of like I don't know, when you have some kind of task which might be extremely simple to do, but there is something inside of you which just tenses up when you think about doing it, even if it's, I don't know, unloading the dishwasher. It doesn't have to be something extreme, but right at this moment you have some kind of inner conflict in doing it, be it because you don't trust yourself, be it because you expect it will be hard, be it because you are afraid that the next step that you would need to take after this one is finished would be even harder. The end result is that you are doing everything else but not the thing that you actually should be doing to receive results. I feel like this might be the case for you, and to why this thing maybe still hasn't happened or is delayed more than you hoped. The other card which tells me that you might be scattering your energy and you feel depleted is the reversed Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles speaks about exchanges. They can be more or less fair. And in your case, I feel like they are less fair because the card came up in the reverse position. So, again, I don't know if regarding this situation you had a specific necessary exchange with another person which depleted you, in the sense of that you were giving far more than you were receiving, or it could be that this is just a byproduct of you avoiding that situation, or I mean, it is the chicken or the egg, but at the end of the day, there is something in your life currently where you are putting in much more energy, work, effort, whatever it is, than you need to. And at the end of the day, this is depleting you. You don't feel fulfilled by it. You don't receive what you should receive based on the effort you're making. You know, sometimes, at the very least, if you are enjoying some kind of sacrifice you're making, it might not feel as a sacrifice. It might feel like, I don't know, altruism, which is great. But in your case, it doesn't feel that way. It feels like, I need to do this again. Like, this is just a responsibility. This is just some kind of shit that I need to put up with right now. And again, especially if a lot of the problem is energetically related or energy related, this will need to stop. Now, the other thing why I said, I mean, I generally feel like people, when they are undecided about some course of action, I want to say that a lot of the times you have at the back of your mind, like you have a hunch on what you want to do. You are sort of just ignoring it because it seems scary. And I would say that this must definitely be the case for you just because you got the Judgment card. And Judgment has to do with we feeling in ourselves some kind of call and push to do something. But it came again in the reversed position for you. So yes, there might be a little bit of a lack of clarity what exactly this is, but more so it can speak about you just turning kind of a blind eye to it because it's scary. And a part of, in order for you to do this, to chase it, to chase that calling, you need to do some kind of shadow work. Like you need to overcome some kind of issue you have within yourself. Again, it might be some kind of self-esteem issue, with the ace that came up. It might be some kind of fear from the past. It might be fear from the future because you need to do something new which you haven't done before. So you're kind of like, I don't know exactly what to do. This reminds me, like when I, for instance, was writing my bachelor thesis, which was in hindsight extremely easy. But when I was doing it, I didn't know what was expected of me. Everything was a little bit up in the air and open for interpretation. And when you find yourself in such uncertainty, you can spend a lot of time thinking between alternatives without doing anything. And there are just situations when you need to take one step after the other and everything starts to clear out. and at the end you have some kind of final result, some kind of product. And at least when you have the product, you can get the feedback whether it's good or not. And then you can always go back to the drawing board. I mean, granted, if it's a bachelor thesis, you might just have a lousy a lousy grade, and you just have to live with it. But at least for next time around, you'll know what is expected of you. So there might be something like that going on in your situation. And you also got the, what's it called? I need to look it up. Now I can't think of the English word. Hold on. Okay, I found it. You also got the Temperance card in the reversed position. And with Temperance, it speaks about the general feeling of conflict and disharmony. But even more so, it emphasizes that you might be feeling really short-tempered around the situation. Again, kind of like the bobcat, you want things to happen faster than they are. But at the same time, when you are conflicted and not taking proper steps to move things forward, nothing's gonna happen. I mean, you are just gonna feel restless about it, but realistically, you need to move in order to experience some kind of movement. It sounds stupid, but that's the only saying that came to my mind. So, again, whatever this situation is that you are focused on right now, it will take some pointed work on you figuring out what exactly you want to move towards. Maybe working on the shadow aspect of, okay, even if I don't have complete clarity, in order for me to get more clarity, I just have to start somewhere and then I can change directions later on, if this is so the case. And in the process of this, I feel like you will let some other things fall. Like social engagements, maybe going out with a coworker that you don't like too much, but you're just trying to be nice. Maybe hang out with a friend who is always complaining to you on a Sunday instead of, I don't know, sitting down and writing your book, let's say. Whatever it is, this focus of energy will be one of the main points that will help you to move forward. So it is focus of your mind, focus of your energy, cutting out specific things which are just acting as a distraction for you. And at the end of the day, you will have to work a little bit on your patience. Again, this haphazard back and forth energy might also be connected, if it's not like a self-esteem issue per se, it might have to do exactly with that, with patience. You might just want things to move faster than they are. I understand that. But now, for right now, one of the lessons for you will be to exert that patience a little bit and to act with strategy. You need to think things through. I hate that combination of words. And take them a little bit slower, in the sense of not burning yourself out in the process. This is more or less what I see based on your cards. Now, specifically timing wise, we have 3 cards that came up for you. I'm gonna tell them to you because it might be more or less helpful if you wanted specific timings. The first card that came up for you, the number 60, is actually, it's in the past, which makes me think again that a part of you moving forward in this situation has to do with you leaving something in the past. Again, this is quite broad, but if there is such a thing, the hunch will come up within you. And the other 2 cards that came up are 43 and 14. We have the next couple of months and then next winter. Realistically, I mean winter if you are in the North Hemisphere, yes, it is either way in the next couple of months, so it might be pointing to the exact same period, let's say within a year, more or less. Again, take it if this is something that's a realistic timeline for your situation. Like I said, in tarot, it's nice to hear of timelines, but they are very much dependent on how you yourself would act, because the energy you have at this moment might change to the next. Let's say if in this moment you are totally confused and this is set to happen within a year in your current energy, maybe you find this reading extremely like mind-blowingly helpful and you change everything, and then it happens in like, I don't know, a month. So it's up to you, pile 1. I hope that this was helpful and I wish you all the luck. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the ring which has a cute little prince frog on it, I don't know how visible it is, anywho, or the unknown card, then let's get into your reading. First off, the card from the animal spirit deck that came up for you is the blue jay with the message of intuition. You are encouraged at this time to follow your feelings and intuition. This is a reminder that your personal power is in your own hands and that you're free to take flight at any time if you find yourself in a situation that doesn't suit you anymore. Good. Now, let's get into your tarot cards, keeping the information of the blue jay in mind. I feel like one very likely thing for you in this situation is that you have somehow overstayed your welcome in some kind of place. And I'll elaborate on it. So, the first card that came up for you, we have the sexy devil man. And what is the sexy devil man if not the depiction of something which entices us, something which can always kind of make us do something, even if it's not necessarily in our best interest. It's just something that has this invisible pull on us that we can't quite explain, but is there. And it's great if something inspires you and has that type of pull on you, but the devil is more so the bad habit that we have, the addiction, the something that you need to let go of in order to be free. Because at the end of the day, I mean, no matter how positive something is, technically speaking, if it is a compulsion, even if you have the compulsion to eat healthy, the compulsion to work out, the compulsion to always be nice to your boyfriend, or I don't know, you are not free. And that's the maybe highest thing that you should be striving towards. Because from a free place, you can take independent decisions, so to say. I mean, you can have the discussion on how much free will we can exert in our life as a whole, whether it's reprogrammed based on our genes, our environment, our childhood, whatever. At least if you are not like an active type of addiction, and I mean any type of addiction, not just drugs, alcohol, and the similar, you can at least somewhat say that you are making the decisions on your own merit. So that's the starting point for you. There seems to be something you are holding on to, which you are probably seeing that it's not serving you that great anymore, but you have not completely given up on it. And there seems to be this, let's say, imbalance within you, that you just, I want to let go of it, I want something else, but I also want this thing. So it's kind of like, which one do I keep and which one do I let go of? And this is definitely causing you stress. It might be keeping you up at night. It seems that you are still able to juggle with both options, both keeping the negative addiction-y thing in your life and also trying to combine it with the rest. But sooner or later, this balance is going to get completely lost. Like you will need to let go one of the two and continue only with the other one. If not, you definitely have the path promised of being overwhelmed and things not working out anymore. On top of that, I would say pile 1 got a similar message but with another card. In your case, the 8 of Wands came up in the reversed position, which can speak of stagnation on the one hand. It can also speak about burnout on the horizon. And this is burnout not necessarily from overworking yourself like in pile 1, but more so burnout because you are trying to do things too fast. Maybe you have too much energy, which just burns you out. Like, I think there was a lyric like that, or something that Kurt Cobain said, or I don't remember. Like, basically, instead of fizzling out, you kind of just burn yourself out like a firework immediately. There might be that type of situation going on. And for you, this will come through this issue that you are refusing to leave in the past. This is more so confirmed by the fact that you also got the 6 of Swords card in the reversed position, which can also speak about you refusing outside help in a way. On the one hand, like the 6 of Swords is the transition card. It is, we are moving from calmer waters into more scary waters, and this frightens us, of course. It is shaking our boat. We are not feeling completely in control of the situation, but the idea is that when you make that rite of passage afterwards, you will be in calmer waters again. And the more you are hesitating to pass through that rough patch, the more time you're gonna waste, the more time you're gonna spend in the rough waters and in the storm, and you don't want that. It is also a card of carrying some kind of baggage with you. Mental baggage, emotional baggage. Just, I have this thing from a past and I'm still carrying it with me, although it's not positively serving me realistically. Because even when bad things happen to us, for instance, it's good to have like a mental note of, okay, in this situation, this is a red flag, for instance, but you still have to open yourself up to situations. You just have to be a little bit cautious for the same thing to not replay itself. So, yes, and the last card also that came up for you, the reversed Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is an interesting card because both in its... I see it kind of as a positive card both in the upright and in the reversed position, just because no matter how you get it, the idea is that things are not going to stay the same forever. If it's in the upright position, right now you might have a high, or the next step on the ladder might be a high for you, but also it promises that sometimes later in the story, be it in a day, week, month, whenever, there is going to be a low. It's just the cycle of life. You go up, you go down. You are on the top, you are on the bottom. That's how it should be. You have to put in the work sometimes, other times you just lay on your back. That's completely fine. And because it came up in the reversed position for you, I feel like you are now stuck in this situation where things are not happening exactly like you want them. You are afraid to let go of the thing that is important to you, which is this addiction, this sexy devil man. And you're just kind of refusing to accept the loss, I guess. Just take the L, accept that this is a failure, accept that this is something from the past, and move on. You, for whatever reason, be it ego, be it positive thinking that maybe this thing will somehow magically improve or something, is not realistic in this situation. Like, it feels like the situation is already done with, and you are just standing on the cliff and prolonging it instead of jumping in the sea and then going out and continuing to bathe in the sun. You are just standing on the verge and being afraid of taking that jump. It feels like that. And like, honestly, specifically because of the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like, yeah, you are now in the period of experiencing the loss, experiencing the downward position of the Wheel of Fortune. But this is just part of the process. And when it's over, it will be fine. There might be a part of this where you are feeling a bit victimy at this time, which is completely fine. I do it as well. Sometimes you're just sad, sometimes you just don't want things to happen the way that they are happening. But this is the thing, like, you are holding the keys here. Yes, external influence, a little bit of like luck, fate, or what have you, might be at play. Again, right now the play is that the cards are not dealt in your favor. But tomorrow this will change. But in the meantime, you need to remember that the other part of the cards, like 4 out of 5, are speaking about you personally choosing for this to happen. It's like with talent, success is, I don't know, 80% hard work and 20%, or no, let's say 10% talent and 10% luck. Like, you need to be at a certain point in life, at a certain skill level, at a certain whatever, in order to be able to take an opportunity when it is presented to you, luck-wise. Otherwise, I mean, luck might present itself, but you're not gonna be in the room. That type of thing. And for you, this taking things in your own hands will be very likely, on the one hand, admitting that there is some kind of problem and sharing it with other people and looking for their help. I feel like you are handling this situation on your own, even more so if it is somehow connected with feelings of guilt, or maybe something that you know deep down you have been dragging on for too long and you can't let go of it. So you kind of at this point don't want to talk to other people about it. But I feel like it will help you. I feel like if you ask for some kind of external guidance, advice, help, physical help, I don't know what the situation is, just if you get someone else involved, they would be able to help you. And again, if this is feeling a little bit too overwhelming, or like, I don't know if this is ever going to end, it is. Again, remember that you are always on the verge of moving somewhere else. You are always on the verge of letting go the pentacle, which is too heavy, and just continuing with your one main goal. You are always on the verge of making a couple of strokes more with your boat and moving into another river, another water, another current. The same with the wheel. Sometimes things might not pan out great, but then at the next moment you're gonna have a spurt of luck and things will move. Just remember, you are lighter than you are maybe now feeling. Things can change faster. Just don't stand in their way. Don't convince yourself that things are difficult, that they require a lot of work, that they are somehow hopeless, that the change is hard, that it has to be extremely prolonged. Like, you are light. You are like the blue jay bird. You can fly off from this to that, to the third, to the fifth. Yeah. Pile 2. So when this will happen, whatever this is, when you do all of that, I feel like, honestly, most of the work for you will be mental. And again, asking for some help from friends, I feel like will also be beneficial to you. As to the specific cards that I pulled for timing, actually we have one timing card from them, and this is the card of next summer. So there might be some kind of specific breakthrough in this next summer. Technically, because it's still not summer, I am optimistic. I would say maybe it's possible for it to happen even now. But if not, then next summer might be somehow significant. And as to the other two cards, we have it's time to take a break, and we have indecision is causing delays. So I would say for you, those two messages are more important than the general timeline of next summer or this summer or whatever. I said that in pile 1 as well. With timing, you should always take it with a grain of salt because it is based on your current energy. So as long as you technically change your current energy, things might move faster or they might move slower. So if you work on these issues, no one is forcing you to wait another year or whatever. It's all up to you. Okay, pile 2, I hope that this was helpful and I wish you all the luck. Hello, pile 3. If you chose this orange and yellow ring over here, the cards that came up for you are actually two cards. So you have the Cardinal with adventure on the one hand, and you have the Coyote with playfulness on the other hand. So let's read these two as a first. So with the Cardinal, the message is you need to live up to your fullest potential, explore new directions, and take risks in order to grow as an individual. Change may be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. And the Coyote reminds us to not take things too seriously and bring more balance between wisdom and playfulness. You might need to lighten up about a matter that has been on your mind for a while. Okay, good. Having that out of the way, let's get into the tarot cards. So, actually, a couple of more tarot cards came up for you than for the other piles, exactly like with the Animal Spirit deck, which is interesting. And I noticed also the pattern that the timing cards that came up have a very similar like color scheme to part of the tarot, which is why I feel like I should combine them. And the first thing, having said that, the Death card you got in combination with 18, which is April. So there might be something from this last April, literally a couple of days ago, that is significant in this situation. Now the Death card is exactly that, change. Some kind of profound change, even more so some kind of profound change that you are afraid of. It came up in the reversed position, which lets me know that it is not something you have closed ultimately. It is still something that you are working through, and I would guess that you are still working through the fear as well. I feel like there is definitely there is the sense here that you are taking things a little bit more dramatic than they should be. The good thing is that I feel like you have kind of noticed that and you are trying to soothe it down a little bit, because one of the cards that came up for you is the Temperance card. So even if you are feeling maybe a little bit extreme, or you might have like extreme impulses every now and again, for instance, to move super fast in one direction or in another direction, I feel like you are controlling yourself quite nicely. Like, despite whatever's going on, you are now at this time where you are sort of clear, like you are at least 60%, let's say, level-headed. Now, where the drama is coming from, I feel like you are maybe not quite seeing all the options that you have. you got both the Four of Cups and the Seven of Cups. I'll show you both cards. Starting off with the Seven of Cups, it came up in the reversed position, but anywho. You can see how this guy is wondering which cup he should lift, like under which cup is the prize, and he can't decide. And the Four of Cups, we have this lady who is also sitting, looking in the distance, looking a little bit sad and pensive, and she's not noticing all of this color which is behind her. I feel like you have similar energy. You are thinking a lot about what you can do, and in thinking you are probably not acting in any way, and as part of that you might be missing things. So how do I explain it more clearly? On the one hand, with the Four of Cups, it is so that yes, we must remember the cardinal balance of life, that if something is more or less meant for you, sure, it will find its way towards you. But you can never be sure what is meant for you and what not completely. So it's always better to err on the side of caution and to exert your own energy for the things that are important to you. There is this message with the Four of Cups that yes, you can afford to sit down a little bit and think things through. Second time today, too much similar sounding words. If you take some time to get clear with what you want, then it is a positive. If you don't do that, the other option would be to waste too much energy in too many directions, I think, like with pile 1, and at the end of the day become burnt out. But there is also something to be said when you have already come to the point where you are quite aware of what you want, but you're continuing to sit down just because you are sitting down in hesitation. And when you find yourself in that spot, you might actually receive an offer towards you and you might miss it because you think I can respond later, or something else will come up later, or I don't feel like it right now. And that's when the Four of Cups moves into its negative energy. You will know whether you are in this point. I feel like with the Seven of Cups, you still don't have the exact clarity. And I mean, because the Four of Cups also came in the upright position, I would say you are still more so in the positive manifestation of the energy. You are still in the manifestation of I just need to sit down a little bit and think about exactly what I want, so I would know which offers to say yes to and which offers to say no to. But I feel like a part of this for you, where the dramatization comes from, is that you truly feel that if you close the door to this one thing from the past, where April might have also been an important month for, you might be afraid that if you close the door on it, there are no other options, or all other options are not as good. And this is not something you can necessarily know beforehand. I mean, our mind knows what our mind knows. You can't, no matter how big of imagination you have, you just can't imagine something which is out of the grasp of your mind. If you have no experience in it, it's kind of like your imagination has a limit. I feel like this might be happening to you right now. Even more so, you got the Page of Swords energy in the reverse, which can speak about, let's say, mind confusion in the way that you might have too many ideas, but none of them are grounded. You're feeling a little bit restless. You don't know where to move forward, or you have so many ideas, again, to the point of feeling blocked in yourself. You can't commit to anything. It is always helpful in this situation to start moving in some direction in order to see what else will open up for you. I was actually thinking about, oh yes, exactly, that's what I wanted to say. I saw a video on TikTok yesterday. It was something about some lady was explaining how the younger generations, myself included to an extent, they don't have the ability to perceive chances, let's say. I can't think of the exact formulation, but the idea was that if you ask your Gen Z co-worker if they want to hang out after work and have drinks, and they say no, because in their mind it's like, well, why would I do that? I don't like you that much. I'm not gonna gain anything from it. I would rather go home and, I don't know, binge watch Netflix. But what this younger Gen Z colleague isn't realizing is that when you go to get drinks with your colleagues, you might meet someone new. That new person might be the friend of one of your colleagues, let's say. They might work in another company. In that company, they might be looking for an employee which matches exactly your profile. And then you miss the opportunity of finding a better job just because you said no to drinks. Like that type of avalanche effect. There might be something like this going on with you. And again, I feel like you are still in the process that you need to figure things out a little bit more. Not so in the what are the exact steps that you need to make, but more so what is at least the end result that you want. Or at least a little bit of a framework of what you would enjoy day to day, what type of opportunities you would enjoy. You seem to still be there. But the next step for you will be closing the door to one thing and then choosing a new direction and finally committing to it. Now, the opportunity might not present itself then the first time you try something, exactly like with this guy. He might lift up one of these cups and there might not be anything underneath it. But you can just play again and you can do it as many times till that opportunity comes. And I feel like this will be the realization which will help you forward for this thing that you want to manifest in your life. So, pile 3, just don't overthink it. Don't overthink it is, I would say, the one big message for you. There might be, I want to say, because you got the Hierophant card, you might actually come to some kind of paradigm shift in this journey. For instance, while you are sitting under the tree with the 4 cups in your lap and thinking, you might on your own come to some kind of realization which changes your current outlook. You might then move a little bit more into this energy of trying new things, just trying for the hell of it, and this adventurous spirit and playfulness, not taking things too seriously. There also might be someone you meet which who helps you in that direction. Just because the Hierophant can be a person in this case, some kind of guru, some kind of teacher, some kind of mentor. But if not, just in you sitting and meditating and thinking about things, it might help you have that eureka moment, when it finally lets you close the door to this old thing and move towards the something new. Regarding the other 2 timing cards that I wanted to tell you about and how they fit thematically with the cards above them, we have, in combination with the 4 of Cups, which is the energy of sitting and thinking, we have the time is now. So I feel like you are on the verge of leaving this energy. Again, don't overstay your welcome. When you have clarity on what you want, even if it's not 100% clarity, knowing step by step the next 5 years, that's fine. It will be at this point time to act. And the other card we have the card of it's worth the time. So again, when you finally decide what this thing worth pursuing for you is, it might not be a light and day type of change. Again, you might have to play around a little bit with the different combinations until you achieve the whatever you want to achieve. This will just be, take it as your period of exploration and having fun. Don't take it as something dramatic, as this has to happen now, as some kind of deadline. It's not. It's just you having time. You having fun. It will be worth the time. Like the final result will come, but it's like the old saying of you have to enjoy the journey. Because even if you get the result, it would be better if you can both enjoy the result at a given time, but also enjoy your path getting there. So yeah, pile 3, I hope that this was helpful, and I wish you all the luck.